we will
every
do
week
like
on
2
Lego
seconds.
sets, news, media, and more. You're listening to the BCC podcast. It is Wednesday, March 31st. Darn it, Mace! March 17th of 2021, and you're listening to episode 256 of the BCC podcast. I'm LQ, and joining me today is Malurus.
I just want to get to what Mace said, so move it.
I didn't even hear what he said, just that he was talking.
What did he say?
It says
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Because, Wednesday, my dude's the thing.
And Mace.
Hello.
Ford.
Evening, everybody.
And Orion.
I still have water all over my desktop. Let me go get a couple more paper
I
napkins.
thought my volume was silent.
I was almost like, man, I'm so tired. What's it? Happy Irish Day or whatever?
It's St. Patrick's Day.
That's it. Yes. That's the one.
St. Patrick's Day is actually about rejecting Irish heritage and their filthy pagan ways.
Oof.
So that's
I
why
thought,
we
I thought it was
celebrate.
about killing snakes.
No.
I thought it was about choosing a side, whether it be green or orange.
Is this Ninjago?
Sure. Totally.
No.
The
And
orange versus the green? That's the plot
Yeah,
of Ninjago,
yeah,
right?
You have the green ninja versus the orange chicken ninja.
Yeah. Sounds about right for the plot of a kid's show.
All right, so Leo will be joining us later, it seems. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some leaked or rumored set lists for the new Marvel sets. Looks like Lego's doing something very different here and actually basing them off old movies, which we've been saying they should do for a long time. I'm very interested in talking about this. So, I guess let's get right into it unless anyone had anything else.
No, sounds good to me.
No,
Go
sounds
ahead.
good.
All right, so first we'll go through the sets for movies we know are coming out. Well, actually, last week we covered the Carnage Helmet. It has been accidentally leaked that the Venom Helmet is coming out, and also an Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, interesting.
So, likely we will see those soon. I don't know how the Carnage Helmet got leaked so soon. Alright, and then next up, we have sets based on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I have no idea if this movie's actually going to come out.
I mean, I got a catalog yesterday, and I didn't see any of the Eternal sets in it, so I'm
Apparently
assuming they
internal
struck-
sets have been delayed.
Yeah, I'm thinking they probably did. So
I really don't trust Marvel's schedule
If that's
set in
anything
stone.
to go by, then I'm sure when the Shang-Chi stuff is going to come out.
Now, according to this list, this should all be Summer Wave, including the Eternal sets.
That's going to be crowded.
So we will see. I mean, it's about the size of like a Star Wars wave. And I'm
Not
pretty sure at
bad.
this point, Marvel is still more marketable than Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Depends on the era, I think, but yeah.
I
Well,
mean, Star Wars
MCU
kind of
Marvel,
lost
but-
all of its like goodwill with the fans in the past few months, so things are not going too well.
So we've got two sets coming out for Shang-Chi. The prices are in euros, but I'm going to assume the US price here. Escape from the Ten Rings, 321 pieces. And Battle at the Ancient Village, no piece count. Both sets are listed at $30.
So
I
this is
did
the
see
only
a
two-
leak of one of them. It has a dragon that looks cool.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that movie goes.
I really have no idea. Like, I keep going back and forth on if Marvel's ever going to make anything good, because I give up and then they surprise me with something.
What did they surprise you with?
I'm not going to tell you.
Wait, was it WandaVision?
We're not going to talk about it.
Whatever it is, you'll hate it. No worries.
No, I
don't
like the
know,
first
you got
couple
boys.
episodes of WandaVision.
I mean, like, first couple episodes of that show are okay, but it just, like, it fumbles at the end and, like, breaks both of its legs on the landing.
I haven't finished the show yet anyway, so...
Well, now you know what to expect.
What? Don't be negative.
Alright, well, we are getting a set based on Wanda Vision, which is kind of an area we've never gotten in LEGO sets before, something that's strictly based on a Marvel TV show.
They say they don't know if it's WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier. It could be that second one.
I feel like it would more likely be WandaVision.
But
Falcon and Winter Soldier is a little more actiony, a little more punchy, a little bit more marketable to kids.
It's a lot more, like, play merchandise friendly.
They should do,
I
like,
think.
a friend-style set for WandaVision. Not for LEGO Friends, like the Friends Central Perk set.
Oh.
I thought
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, LEGO Friends.
That'd be pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah, Friends figure with Vision, you know.
No. I'm fairly confident it'll be WandaVision because LEGO would have gotten, concept from it first.
Uh-huh.
And plus, I feel like WandaVision is going to be where these shows peak in popularity.
But Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to come out before WandaVision.
That's true.
I think they'll be popular when they're out, but I also don't think they're going to have much staying power. Like, no one's really talking about WandaVision anymore after it came out.
I don't know what people are talking about since I'm, like, off most social media. And I've found it's way nicer watching things not knowing what's relevant.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, so we got those, and let's talk about the Infinity Saga sets, because this is what I'm excited for.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually like a recurring topic we've had on the podcast that LEGO should do this.
Yeah, we already did a few podcasts of, like, things that we think should be in it, or that they should go back and make.
Actually, and one of them is in here, Ironmonger Mayhem.
Oh.
I am really excited for that
Ironmonger.
set.
Wait, you mean we're finally going to get Jeff Bridges as a minifig?
Maybe it could just be entirely brick built.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I
they
can't
need
imagine
to do it.
a 40 € set and he doesn't have a minifigure, you know?
Did we not
you
get him
mean-
in
You mean
Guardians
we
2
can
sets?
reenact? We'll be able to reenact Tony Stark built this in a cave from a box of scraps.
Oh darn, I always
You what?
never mind, I got him mixed up. Who played Ego, the Living Planet?
Oh, that was
Kurt
Old
Russell.
Man.
I get
Oh, right.
Kurt Russell
I was
and
really
Jeff
close.
Bridges mixed up.
How?
They're both old.
They're very different people, just saying.
They're
Let
both
me-
kind of westerny, I guess.
I mean, kind of, but
And Beardy.
not all the time.
I mean,
But in the
one was
two
Rider, the other was
movies he's
True
thinking
Red,
of.
so.
I'm looking at. Okay, yeah, if you look at a picture of both of them with beards, it's very similar.
No, they're
Yeah,
not.
I called
They're
it.
completely
I
different.
not really. I don't know about that.
They're completely different people with completely different voices and completely different personalities.
I wouldn't
They
go that
can't
far.
be compared. Yeah, I don't see the similarity here.
I do.
One of
I-
them is bald, by the way, in one movie, and the other one has hair. So
No, he's right.
Also, Orion, if you
uh,
get that set and it actually has a Jeff Bridges minifig, you could make Kevin Flynn.
yeah, I suppose.
What
I
would you use for his
could.
outfit?
I mean, you can mock up the outfit with something.
I feel like the outfit's more important than the face for making a Kevin Flynn minifigure.
Well, especially with the with the CGI and everything, you know.
Yeah, and you have a white goatee.
Man, Tron
In
could
the
totally
Iron
hold a
Man
theme of its own.
It could. It
Well,
really
we
If
got the
Disney
new
were-
Tron movie, you know, coming out.
Is it really coming out?
Yeah,
Daft Punk is
Probably.
retired, and
Is what?
they retired.
Daft
Who's
Punk.
retired?
Daft Punk broke up.
No,
Yeah.
that was just what they were reporting. They actually retired.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's technically the same thing
Mhm.
because like they're not going to make music. They might make music separately. I don't know. It's not.
From what
But,
I
like-
read, they're just done. They want to be done.
Okay, well, good on them. I think there are other synthwave artists that I would like kill it in a Tron movie. I'd love to
Now,
see.
if they do,
Kavinsky.
they have to bring. Was it Hans Zimmer that worked with them?
Yeah.
They've got to make sure they bring back Hans Zimmer regardless, then, because you got to keep that same feel for the music, or it won't be Tron.
Well, I think he'd help at least keep something more cinematic. If it wasn't for him, I don't think the Tron Legacy soundtrack by Daft Punk would have been as cinematic. It would have been more, songy and not.
I just don't want
soundtracky.
them to go with something more generic.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which is why I would love to see like Kavinsky do something.
So I'm still. Have we heard more about Tron 3? I would think Disney was doing it
No, I
still
think
because they.
Oh yeah, well we got Jared Leto.
I
on
heard about
board.
that, which I don't think is a good idea.
I want them to get Cillian Murphy back because he was supposed to be like a big deal in like the actual Tron 3 going off of Legacy.
Yeah.
But I know Disney's making that roller coaster soon, so I assume they'd still want to go forward on the movie project to tie it in.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't Daft Punk do the music for the ride already? Oh wait, they're probably pulling the same from the Asia theme park, or because it's already
Yeah.
open in Tokyo, I think.
Mhm.
But anyway, so we've got Black Panther Dragonfly. I have no idea what that is. Mace, maybe you do.
I think it's that spaceship that was autopiloted by the Hobbit guy.
Yeah.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah, that guy. To shoot at the other things that
It's
were
a pretty small set.
other
I'm not
aircraft.
expecting much of it from it then.
Yeah, does that really warrant like an entry?
No, but it's
Really?
fine. It's fine.
It's very niche.
Captain
but
America
alright.
and Hydra Face Off could be cool if they have good minifigures.
Like
Yeah.
it's
That's-
Captain
that's all
America
it's gonna
pulling
be.
off Red
If
Skull's
they finally
face.
have like
Mhm.
an MCU Red Skull out there, perfect. Go do it.
I wouldn't think Red Skull would be in here. I just want like a First Avenger Captain America print.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, it could also be like an army builder for Hydra soldiers. That
I'm
would
thinking
be
that's what's going to be, judging by the price.
that sounds pretty cool, actually. I mean, how much
And
is it?
judging by the name.
$9 or $10.
Perfect.
Maybe it's
That's-
just like
that's
him
totally
on
gonna
his
be a battle
motorcycle with a bunch of Hydra dudes. That might be
I'm
it.
pretty sure it's going to be it.
Yeah, that would make sense with the movie too.
And then Endgame Final Battle. I assume then that we're going to finally get actual Endgame versions of Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man in this
Will
set.
we get like a fat?
Likely.
Fat
Thor?
Thor.
Probably,
Like,
yeah.
Lego Fat Thor.
Which, it's a shame that they didn't complete any of the costuming for that movie when they filmed it, because they have some pretty cool designs, like the Captain America scale armor suit is like the best MCU Captain America design. It gets like a total of 10 minutes of screen time.
The Iron Man suit kind of sucks, though.
Oh, the Iron Man suit is fine. It's the same one from the last movie, just with more gold.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked fine in the red. Looked better in the red, I think. But whatever.
Also, I might have been saying Infinity War when I meant Endgame.
No, you said Endgame.
Yeah,
think.
pretty sure.
Yeah, the scale armor Captain America suit is just.
But I think
the
like
best.
part of that is just because they want to keep Thanos like as a recurring villain in sets too.
Yeah, they like doing that. Thanos has been like in the most sets of anyone.
Pretty sure they also just I think they may have just retired the set that he came in from the Endgame line. So all you can really get right now is the minifig version that kind of sucks. So
Yeah, I want to get scale armor Captain America, Thor with the beard and everything, and I think we did actually get an Iron Man for Endgame. That's like the only one.
probably end up coming with the gauntlet that they made in the movie, which also came in only one set before. So another shot to get it.
So it is a big set. Well, actually, it says 527 pieces at
We're getting
$90.
Hulk, Thanos, and
it's got to
probably
come with a lot of
other big
minifigures
pieces.
at that, I would think.
A lot of minifigs and a lot of big pieces.
So I'm interested to see what that one's actually going to be.
Big figures as far as we know. So
The next one I'm surprised because I feel like we've gotten so many of these ships. We're getting another Benatar.
This is
yeah, I heard a rumor that this is going to be like a UCS stylish thing.
It's twice the price of the last version of this.
Like how much is it?
It's
150.
listed 150
Okay, yeah, it's
with
gonna be like-
1,900 pieces, which is a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be
Mhm.
easy as well. Like they already, I shouldn't say this, but like there's already a picture floating around of like a different version of Rocket. And it looks interesting.
So the final one, Sanctuary 2, which is Thanos' massive warship for $30, and that seems like a really odd decision.
Might be a miniature.
Most likely micro scale because it would
It doesn't
simply
sound
be
very
too big.
massive.
Or maybe it's just like, I don't know, like his throne or something.
Maybe.
know,
Thanos' massive throne.
His massive toilet. Yes. I
Right.
mean, where else is he go? The whole place is made of stone.
Lord, please don't do that again. Oh, right. So that's it for the Infinity Saga sets. I hope they continue them. I was hoping for a few more there, honestly, but that's still a decent amount with all the other sets that are coming out, and I really hope they up the quality based on the other recent sets. If they're basing them off something, I would hope it'd be better. Next up we have, I guess, No Way Home is the official title for the next Spider-Man movie.
We've known that for a long time.
They kept throwing out like a ton of different titles and saying it was
One
confirmed.
day before they revealed the real one.
Wasn't this one of them that was in there, though?
No, it was
No,
not. There was
no.
Homewrecker and stuff like that.
I didn't even hear that one.
Clear jokes like that. And
Did
then
they
this
get
one day
Toby?
later.
Did they get Toby for these?
No, I don't.
Holland
No, I don't think.
insists no.
But they've been talking about so many other people from the Raimi movies coming in.
He could just
No,
be told to lie.
No, that's for Doctor Strange. That's Bruce Campbell spotted during.
No, not like
Semi-Aero.
Bruce Campbell. Like Alfred Molina was on this project.
Yeah, he was spotted on set.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they had Alfred Molina, but maybe not some of the others. I'm not sure what they're trying to pull. But
We know Alfred Molina and we know Jamie Foxx from The Amazing.
Oh yeah,
Spider-
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that makes me think we would get at least a cameo by Toby.
No Way Home
Maybe.
sounds like a Lost in Another Dimension kind of situation, especially considering the rumored Doctor Strange.
And
cameo
what would
in
be
that
great
film.
too is if we have Nicolas Cage cameo as Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah,
Oh,
or Ghost Rider.
And that's not really a question of like, oh man, Nick Cage didn't really want to do it. Like, obviously, we know he'd do it if
Yeah.
they asked him.
He
Yeah.
looks like an old grizzled 1920s
He'd be
Spider-Man. Peter
perfect for a
Parker, you know?
live-action Spider-Man Noir movie.
He looks like an old man Peter Parker. Crazy 1920s one.
But yeah, it would be cool if Multiverse of Madness does also bring in like a bunch of cameos from like pre-MCU movies. That would be awesome. I'd love to see
yeah,
like Nicolas
sure.
Cage Ghost Rider, and like what else was there pre-MCU? Come to think of it,
Fantastic Four, Blade, and Spider-Man.
Blade. I
I'd love
could see.
Again.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, Wesley Snipes' Blade. Oh yeah.
Wesley Snipes would definitely do a cameo. I'm not sure he'd be
Yeah.
up for the action these days, but he'd do a cameo.
No, he'd be good. I think. Yeah.
I don't know about Fantastic Four
Oh.
though.
Daredevil.
Oh, right. Forgot about that. Yeah, that's
the
not happening.
show
I mean,
Daredevil,
you
though.
could maybe make it happen.
They would almost. I'd
Uh,
almost think that they'd try to use that to establish that the Daredevil show is an alternate universe.
Yeah.
I think I was reading somewhere that Kevin Feige, it was in an interview, he said something along the lines of how he really wanted to bring Daredevil back and how they're kind of working on it, and like not that anything's confirmed, but how they're kind of
I know they
messing
still
with
like
it.
Charlie Cox as Daredevil.
Yeah.
I don't think they have any intention on recasting him. I was
No.
hoping at this point, though, we get a confirmation of Daredevil Season 4 on Hulu or something, because they should be able to make it if they wanted to, but I don't think they're interested now.
It'd be big too. If
It
they,
would
if
be.
they did weekly releases for Daredevil.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be huge.
Because, like, Daredevil was canceled at its peak of popularity.
Mm-hmm.
and it would have been more popular too. Again, if it had actually, aired weekly.
Mm-hmm. Especially with how Season 3 was, where it was, like, so intense with
So
all the
cliffhanger
cliffhangers.
after cliffhanger. Yeah.
Daredevil. Oh, and then like, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. They can't just let that go.
No, yeah,
That's like
arguably
legendary-
better than Cox.
Yeah, that's like up there with J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson is like the best casting ever. Like, I could not see anyone else play Kingpin
Mm.
with Vincent D'Onofrio.
Well, and he's like built
I appear to have come
perfectly
just
for
in
that kind
time.
of role.
Oh, hello,
too.
Leo.
Hello, happy St. Patrick's Day.
That's what it's called.
What?
What?
I thought it was called the Irish Day.
He's probably just joking.
He is, because we've said St. Patrick's Day several times.
Yeah.
Wait, is he
I'm
trying to
sorry,
make
I'm
a joke?
inspired.
What?
Yes, he's trying to make a joke, but it's not funny. Well, it's just confusing people.
That was like anti-humor.
Well, now that I've sucked all the energy out of this podcast.
No, that wasn't you. It was Ford.
It was
Yeah.
We were talking about the Spider-Man No Way Home. Actually, we're talking more so about like the future of MCU movies and Multiverse of Madness and like old Marvel
Wow.
movies that could cameo in it.
off of it. Is that a thing? Is
Is
it
that a
happening? Are they making sets based off of it?
Off of
Are they
Multiverse
listening
of
to
Madness.
3, thank
No,
goodness.
they
Same as every
better.
other time.
What's it called? Spider-Man.
Yes,
Spider-Man.
3 of them. We
3
have no
just like the
details
last
at all,
two
though.
Spider-Man movies.
All right.
I'm hoping they let Raimi just do his thing on Multiverse of Madness.
I have a feeling
Maybe
they
cool.
will, because they attached his name to it for a reason.
I know, but
Like,
I
people-
also
Remember, and Raimi's style is incredibly mainstream right now. Like, people know what to expect from Raimi.
the thing though is I feel like maybe he decided to do this project for Marvel for a certain amount of money or for some contract like that says he can do this other movie that he really wants to do, because his last movie was Oz and it didn't do very well. So I'm
Wait,
thinking,
Oz the Great and Powerful? Or another
Yeah.
Oz?
no, Oz the Great and Powerful, that was his last movie.
That wasn't good.
Yeah.
I mean I liked quite a bit of it. I just
I mean, I
found a
thought the
lot of it
visuals were
was-
fine, but it was boring.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But I feel like either he's got total creative control or no creative control, and they've just got his name attached for like the recognition, and he's getting a lot of money to make his passion project.
Wait a
after
minute,
this.
now Spider-Man No Way Home comes before Multiverse of Madness. Wasn't it before Multiverse of Madness led into Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think that's what was supposed to be. Yeah,
Well, that sounds like it's going to be messy.
That's also likely why the Doctor Strange cameo was cut from the end of WandaVision.
was
Oh,
it
they
cut
did cut that?
or-
There's a Doctor Strange cameo?
It was supposed
It
to
was
be one.
filmed.
No,
WandaVision
because
was-
the director hadn't actually, or at least the director of most of WandaVision hadn't read a lot of comics. Like he didn't know who Dormammu or who like Mephisto was or anything like that. So I don't think he actually was the Doctor Strange. I don't think he actually was originally in WandaVision at all.
I know he was planned to be because, like I said, they did film the cameo. I knew that.
Are
Yeah,
you
they
sure
did
they
film it.
filmed it?
Where
Yeah,
did you hear
supposed
about
to be
this?
A small cameo at the very, 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 very end to say, "Hello, you're going to show up in my movie in 3 months."
Where
Which was
did
the
you hear
original
about this?
Hmm?
Where did you hear about this?
Just in general, I didn't.
Elizabeth
take a note
Olsen
of
still
the
is
books.
listed in the cast for Multiverse of Madness, too.
Well, that was always a guarantee.
Yeah. Well, when you see the end of like WandaVision, you'll know why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the only thing I can remember is that Cumberbatch had talked about WandaVision in an interview, but he never said he was in it or anything, and this was fairly recent.
Mace told me a while ago, so...
I know it was
Whatever the
really
case may
speculative.
be, whatever may happen, I just really hope that Sam Raimi finds a way to cast Bruce Campbell into Multiverse of Madness.
I thought it was already
No.
confirmed.
Well, yeah, he's visiting where it's being filmed or whatever.
Oh, it is? Oh, I didn't know that.
You'll never
Yeah.
not put that guy in a movie.
It
I don't
was,
think anyone
it
has to
was-
worry about that.
It was
Okay.
in Italy or something. where
Sam
he was
Raimi
spotted at.
and Bruce Campbell is like... Without Bruce Campbell is like Spider-Man without James Franco. It's just...
Well, without Bruce Campbell, you wouldn't even have Raimi because of Evil Dead and everything.
Yeah.
But, darn,
Shop
that,
smart.
that makes
Shop
me worry about a
as
lot of these
smart.
projects, because they were like had a very clear established timeline about which movies led into which.
I think What, COVID kind of messed that up? Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
We have so many movies. I still don't think all these movies are going to come out this year.
No, for sure.
Well, we were supposed to get Shang-Chi
I mean,
a few months ago.
Venom got delayed to September from June. Actually,
did it?
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Darn.
It happened
that
today.
sucks, don't it? And again, remember this. This is a movie directed by Andy Serkis.
Directed by? I thought he was just starring.
No,
Oh, no,
it's
he wasn't starring. Yeah. Yeah,
directed
yeah.
by Serkis, and they've said before that they're going to lean more into all the stuff that was cut from the first Venom that Tom Hardy really liked.
Well, didn't with the
Oh.
Jungle Book, they said they were going to lean more into stuff from the book that was dark, and then they just made it boring.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, but that's like totally unrelated to like the Venom stuff, because Tom Hardy was talking about like all these cool prosthetics and effects and like all the creature stuff that was cut from the first Venom that he like really liked about it. That's kind of like why he signed on. So I think that's their angle for what they want to do.
I thought he signed on
now.
so he could eat a lobster.
I still remember that interview being so funny where he's like with Riz Ahmed and he's talking about Tom Hardy and he's talking about all this cool stuff that was cut, and Riz Ahmed, who plays the bad guy, he's like, well, maybe it was cut for a reason, maybe it wasn't really that good, and like Tom Hardy's like giving him the death stare while he's saying it is such an uncomfortable interview.
Would you say it's more uncomfortable than Don Cheadle saying "Don't touch me" to Brie Larson?
Wait, when was? I don't remember that.
You don't
'Cause I
remember?
didn't.
Every
Oh,
interview
man.
with Brie Larson, like, the actors were incredibly uncomfortable sitting next to her.
Yeah,
Well,
there's a very uncomfortable Chris Hemsworth
what movie
one, too.
was Brie Larson in that had
Endgame.
Don
Endgame.
Cheadle? Yeah, but did they pair them together in the
They paired Brie
interviews?
Larson, like, with everyone.
I think
They
so.
really wanted her to be a big thing, and then it didn't
Well-
happen. So,
Well, it's because they didn't make it good.
I think. Well, she still is kind of a big thing. It's just like.
is anybody like talking about it? other
No
than
one
us?
likes Captain Marvel, is the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Well, except that one guy who saw it like 200 times.
I
in
don't
the
think he's
theater.
real.
You think he's a plant?
Yeah.
No, I think he's just an incel who thinks Brie Larson is hot, which is
I mean, that
out
was-
of the
that could
realm of
also be true.
possibility at all.
Couldn't he have watched something else like Kong Skull Island then? It's another.
He probably did, but that wasn't in theaters.
But so yeah, it will be interesting to see what's going forward then with No Way Home. I hope they're still going with the multiverse theme and not making it boring, because I have a feeling this will probably be the last MCU Spider-Man, because Tom Holland is kind of getting full of himself.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he doesn't want to play Spider-Man anymore.
Oh, I thought it was the Russo brothers that were getting full of themselves.
No, they did too, but also I don't know if they're directing anything now.
Yeah, they just
have enough money to
came
just
out with
produce.
with Chirk. That just
No,
came
I mean
out.
in the MCU.
Mm-mm.
Maybe they said that they'd like to return at some point. I definitely think Marvel would welcome them back to direct something, because they would be like a huge draw, because they did Endgame and Infinity War and everything.
We'll
so
see.
We'll see. I don't know. Tom Holland is pretty decent as Spider-Man. I just
He
wish-
is. He's just
He's
now he's saying he
25
doesn't
years-
want to be known for Spider-Man, and they need to age up the character if they want him to stay.
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
To be fair, though, if I was Tom Holland, I would be like, man, I don't want to be teenage Spider-Man for the rest of my life or anything. I'd like to be known for something more substantial, you know?
Well, if he could be adult Spider-Man,
Well,
what's
yeah,
more
maybe.
substantial than adult Spider-Man?
It should have started out.
I don't know, in a Martin Scorsese picture, maybe. I don't.
Will Martin Scorsese, do you blacklist him for being Spider-Man?
Yeah, he would.
I thought Martin
Maybe.
Scorsese was done making films.
No, that was false. That's fake news, because he's currently filming Killers of the Flower Moon with De Niro and DiCaprio this year.
Of course.
He said he
favorite
might have
boys.
lost his spark after The Irishman. He doesn't know if he can get it back.
By the way, it is St. Patrick's Day, so everyone's required to watch The Irishman tonight.
No.
Yeah, that's the best Irish movie ever, even though it's like 99% Italian.
Yeah, either that or watch the Snyder cut.
Yeah,
But why would you watch the Snyder cut?
it has Green Lantern in it. It's Irish.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Oh, it does it now.
I want to
Yeah.
watch the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Well, because people
Ugh.
forget, like, Snyder is actually he's a pretty solid director in my opinion. I think he's only had a couple misfires, like the Owl movie and Sucker Punch are like the only movies from him I just flat out don't like. Batman v Superman is like on the lower tier, but everything else, he's a really solid,
Honestly,
very juvenile but solid director.
the thing with the Snyder cut too is they actually seem to take a lot of criticism from the original cut,
Oh yeah,
like legitimate criticism. So,
Mhm.
well, I still haven't seen the new cut of The Godfather Part 3, so we'll see how these new cuts for movies, if they can truly fix them.
well, the thing is, for at least for the Godfather coda, Coppola didn't film anything new. Snyder did.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Well, there wasn't anything filming anything new.
I
for
mean,
the
and
guy
the
who
Joker
wanted
says
to
we live in a
replace-
society in the
No,
movie,
that's-
so...
no, that's
he only
not
said
true.
it in
Actually,
the trailer.
So
You
okay,
told me
here-
it was real!
No, it was real. They only did it for the trailer though. And here's some tidbits. So
Is the Joker even
Snyder-
in the movie?
no, he is. But do you know how Leto is in the movie?
How?
So Snyder gave it. This is why I love Snyder too. He's so cheeky. So he was giving this big interview about the Snyder cut, and they're talking about Jared Leto and stuff like how did this happen? And he said, well, I called up Ben Affleck and Leto, like I want you guys in the movie, but the studio, is being really finicky about it. So what I want to do is you guys will meet up at my house, and I'm not going to pay you, but we'll shoot it. And and so they shot it in like Zack Snyder's backyard, I think, on like green screen. And Leto ad-libbed most of that stuff. He like ad-libbed the "We live in a society" line, and Snyder didn't keep it in the movie, but he put it in the trailer.
Oh,
So-
that's a bit disappointing.
So yeah, that's pretty
Darn,
funny.
no, we live in a society. 9
Right,
out
we
of
live
10.
in a
So close
society.
to Leto
Don't you
knew what
agree,
the people
Batman?
wanted.
Yeah, it's
He knew
true.
what they wanted.
Maybe he
It does
actually
actu-
said we live in a society in like the original Suicide Squad, but then they cut it with the rest of his scenes.
Yeah, he like they need to keep doing more with him.
I mean, the
because, like,
Joker
eventually-
design for this cut just looked better overall, too. So again, it seems like they took criticism.
Oh yeah. No, I think it'll be solid. Also, like, keep in mind, this is a 4-hour long director's cut of a movie that wasn't ever supposed to be seen. Of like, and it's like a superhero. Like, this isn't anything you've ever seen before. Really, it's a very unique project.
Also,
really.
the
So I-
Snyder cut proves that you all can bring back Bionicle if you're just annoying enough.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes, finally, Leo, you're here to hear the.
Oh, so like to be honest, like I don't know why people are like, oh, this is gonna suck or whatever. It's like, dude, do you know how unique and like one of a kind this thing is? Like, not even
They're remaking a
Scorsese-
movie in like a way it's never been remade before.
Yeah, not even Scorsese has done anything like this before.
This
Honestly,
is
yeah.
cinema.
I mean, yeah, to me at least, this is great because the director gets to complete his vision, and everything.
And he probably had a lot more freedom on this one than he did in the original one.
And he's not even getting paid to do this either. All the money went directly into the film. Like they're not actually paying Snyder to do this.
Amazing. So it is literally a passion project.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he just wanted to like wipe his hands of the whole thing, just be done with it, but have his vision,
I wash my hands of you, Joss Whedon.
which I can respect. I think that's neat. So I'm very, I don't know, not that I'm optimistic per se, but I really am curious to see what it's like.
That and no one wants near Joss Whedon right now.
Yeah.
Boy.
Well, what's so sad is that Snyder actually originally he was like really excited. He wanted to work with Whedon at some point in his life because he loved his work on Avengers. Because like Snyder's just this big kid at heart. So when he finally got like his superhero idol involved in a project, Whedon just like totally desecrated the original vision.
I still don't blame Whedon for most of it. I think he was just like a puppet director at that point.
Pretty much, it's kind of on the fault of the studio and also on Whedon for just being a poor fit for the project too.
Well,
because like
Well, didn't Age of Ultron destroy Whedon?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. He was left a little husked out at the end of it. Like he had a lot
He
of
seemed absolutely broken.
because he thought after Avengers he would like have proven himself and he'd have more freedom with the next project, but Marvel just like put their foot down and said no, and you have to.
He
do
got
it
stuck in like the
this
worst
way,
time
so
for the studio, basically.
Yeah.
Because like Age of Ultron
Which is
and
a
Ant-Man
shame,
is like
'cause
the
they're-
low point of Marvel.
And,
Age of Ultron
like,
still has some good stuff in it.
It
It
does,
has
but
good
it's like
stuff,
when Marvel
extremely
was.
disjointed.
It's when Marvel got it's at its most boring, and when people started like giving that criticisms of Marvel, that stuck with it for a long time.
it was like pre-Scorsese days, you know, before the master said anything.
Yeah, because if anything, the Marvel's lowest. But
that was right around the same
It still
time.
looks friggin' cool though.
yeah, but
We just watched The Dark World the other.
Was that also Kenneth Branagh who directed for it?
No, I think Kenneth Branagh only made the first one.
Kevin Branagh's career is so weird.
The thing is, Thor: The Dark World suffers from a lot of pacing issues, I think, is the main
Yeah.
point, and the fact they were. I felt like they were creatively restricted on so much of it too. They do not want to tap into any fantasy elements. They really are like
The
digging
villain
the
is
sci-fi parts of it. Been higher fantasy instead of just sci-fi.
Yeah, and what?
For
Leo-
sure.
That's my biggest criticism.
Leo,
of it,
you
too.
cut
If
out
you're-
the stream drop for a moment. What was that?
What?
We cut out during your entire. Okay.
Well, I wasn't
Good
saying
there.
anything, but I do have something to say.
Okay, what were you saying?
I was saying that is also my criticism with it, because they were pulling from Walt Simonson, I believe, for Malekith. When you do that, you have to go hard in with the high fantasy sci-fi aspect. It should have been a bit more like Star Wars in the epic scope, but instead we get, I guess.
This kind of
I still
why
just
can't.
feel- it's
I
kinda
still
like-
can't process my feelings over this movie after watching it for a second time.
It's sort of
It
just
disappoints
like
me
they're
on so many
trying to-
levels.
They're trying to follow this paradigm at that point where it's like they're trying to work everything up to like the science fiction sort of standard that they're going for.
But they didn't need to do that.
See, there's
Marvel's the
three
house of
things
ideas.
that brought Thor: The Dark World down. One was it was in a really weird time of writing in the MCU where it was written before Avengers. Like Iron Man 3 and what was the other one written before Avengers?
Captain
Winter Soldier?
America.
And
No,
Guardians. Winter Soldier and
Winter
Guardians are
Soldier.
the other two.
I didn't think Winter Soldier was because Winter Soldier like ties in heavily
It
I
was
don't know.
before Avengers.
Maybe it was Ant-Man.
because it like uses Nick Fury and Black
Or,
Widow
like,
and everything. Ant-Man was kind of
Ant-Man
written
wasn't-
before.
Ant-Man was in pre-production hell, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's why it came out
Well,
after.
it would have been much better if they had just let Edgar Wright do his thing, because he was attached to it for like 7 years, and
Yeah.
they just said, no, you can't do this like how you want, so he just didn't do the movie. And they got
Yeah.
friggin' Peyton Reed to do it.
You seem salty about this.
Well,
But yeah,
Peyton Reed he's
Have
basically
you
just a
seen
studio
Hot
gun.
No, I haven't, but I
You
agree
should.
with Ryan though.
It's
Yeah,
a perfect movie.
Well, I don't know. It's the weakest, one of the weakest of Edgar Wright's, but it's still compared to like a lot of Marvel
Weakest?
films, still like way better.
Shaun of the
Not
Dead
the
is the
weakest.
weakest.
No, that's his best.
Eh,
Okay, well, there's just proof
The
for you
duality
that,
of man.
Wright is just a very strong director, then, because people can look at his weakest and strongest and see either in each.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on like what you feel like, what appeals to you. I
but yeah,
guess.
the
suppose.
writing
That
was an
could be
issue.
just good.
That's the issue with a lot of Phase 2 movies is the writing gets weaker because so much of it the writers weren't sure what they were going to be able to do for
But
the
they were all
movies.
trying to copy like Favreau's improv style from Iron Man.
That
And to a
too.
degree, they're still kind of trying to do that, which
Yeah.
really bugs me, because all the characters sound like they're written exactly the same. They don't really have a distinct voice to themselves.
And then another issue with it was the fangirl surrounding Loki at the time.
Well, but again, the fangirls ruined Loki as a character because he was supposed to be a tragic villain, and now he's just kind of like a
He's a
lovable
cool guy.
anti-hero, pretty
Mhm.
much. And again, Marvel's villain problems is partially like you can fix so much of a movie just by having a cool, like, just a good villain. Like, even though I don't like so many of the Marvel films, if they had better, long-standing villains, I would enjoy
I'm
They
them.
really-
didn't kill off all their villains.
I'm really hoping they bring back James Spader as Ultron at some point.
That
I mean, isn't that the whole point of Ultron
Yeah,
in like,
that's
the
like-
comics, that he keeps coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially since, Scarlet Witch and Vision are in popularity to such an extent right now, it would be a good time to start thinking about writing Ultron back in.
I
That'd be
think
so
so,
easy
yeah.
to do.
I mean, they could probably
So-
connect it to what's going on in WandaVision.
I mean, if you want to bring him back and do like a whole like super team up movie, that'd be cool. That isn't Sinister Six. Just stop trying. Stop trying with the Sinister Six.
What's the one that has Baron Zemo, the Grim Reaper,
Masters of Evil.
Masters of Evil? Let's get the Masters of Evil together.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to talk about
That's a really
lightning
bad
bolts,
name.
but
that's a thing you could do.
lightning bolts would probably be more likely, but
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolts, sorry.
But the Masters of Evil. Just think how menacing that name sounds.
The name sounds a little goofy.
And look, if you introduce the Grim Reaper, you can introduce Wonder Man.
Wonder
Another
Man
thing
actually
sounds
has a
really
ton of
goofy.
potential. Like,
A
he
ton
is
of what?
potential, Wonder Man.
Who's Wonder Man?
He dies. a
Yeah,
lot.
that's Wonder Man's thing. Yeah, he dies a lot. He's like this guy made out of like this energy. And in the comics, he is what Vision's thought patterns are based off of.
Instead of Jarvis.
Ah. All right.
So there you go. So we recast Paul Bettany as Wonder Man, so
Yeah,
he can play
no,
himself
please.
alongside the Vision.
Come on, man! Please let Paul Bettany collect his paycheck in peace, okay?
No,
Please.
he must
Well,
play
it
two
wasn't Paul
characters.
Bettany himself
Paul Bettany
who said
loves
he wanted
doing
to be
this stuff.
Vision instead of Jarvis.
I hope Paul Bettany takes all his like WandaVision money and gives it to Lars von Trier to do Dogville too.
But Paul Bettany, like, seriously loves doing the MCU stuff, though.
Yeah, I know you want him to hate it because you do, but he does like it.
No, yeah, I don't know. And Paul Bettany is probably the best actor in the whole MCU.
He was the
as well.
best part of WandaVision.
He's only Vision
He-
because he wanted to be a superhero, and so
Yeah,
they made
but-
Jarvis Vision.
He and
Yeah,
Olsen worked really well together in that show, I thought.
I think like outside of maybe Robert Downey Jr., easily like the best actor in the whole.
So we've got like
Whole,
the three best
thing.
actors come from Iron Man: Paul Bettany, Robert Downey Jr., and Jon Favreau.
And- I was gonna say Don Cheadle, but okay.
No, I wouldn't put him up there with those guys.
Boom! You're looking
Recast.
for this.
You know, they should use WandaVision or Doctor Strange or something as excuse to recast Don Cheadle back to the original.
Yeah.
Yes, I wouldn't mind.
Betray Don Cheadle again. I mean, betray War Machine.
There are almost no people who look less like each other than Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle.
Terrence
they
Howard
just,
just
like,
like
go
has a
on
less.
that, on that line next time, baby.
Yeah.
Also, like Terrence Howard, I like him way better than Don Cheadle for War Machine. He has like a charisma to him that
Terrence
Cheadle
Howard
just-
feels more natural in the role. Don Cheadle.
Well, and he compliments Downey a lot more because like he has the
Mhm,
same
mhm.
energy Downey does, like very cocky, and
But
like,
a
you can see why they
pessimistic
were
guy.
friends. Yeah, you can see why they were friends.
Now, I will
Don
say,
Cheadle,
Don Cheadle gets points for being in Iron Man 2.
That's true.
But then
okay,
again, so does Elon
we-
Musk.
We're gonna subtract points though for how Marvel treated him though. He had 5 or 15 minutes to make his mind up, and he had like no like. They were very abrupt and rude to Cheadle when they offered him the role.
Oh yeah, Justin
No,
Hammer,
he's
he can
getting
still
his
come
own
back
TV
and needs
Yeah,
to
I
come
was
back.
about to ask, like, could we get what's he called, Detroit Steel, please?
I thought Justin Hammer was going to be in the War Machine show.
Oh, Oh.
There's a
Oh,
War Machine show?
Oh,
Yeah,
remember
there we
always
go.
was based on
See,
when
okay.
Tony's blueprints go public domain.
Now we're reaching the point though where I'm not that invested, but I'm also concerned like they're so big now. It's gonna be hard to stay invested in all these different things because the story's sprawling out so much. I feel like they're going to need to isolate parts of it at some point.
Yeah,
like
I'm
how they
not
did with the
sure how-
Netflix shows, because it's going to be very.
I have had the same concern. I'm really not sure how they're going to do it, because I did feel like watching WandaVision 2, like so much of it's not going to make sense if you haven't seen like all the MCU movies, and I'm not sure how they're getting away with that.
They actually have a little Disney Plus series thing where they give like 8 minutes of all the backstory you need for every character.
But
That's
to me
for
at
filthy
least,
casuals.
That's
So
so
some of
lame,
it
though.
won't even make sense to you as a viewer if you haven't seen some non-MCU Marvel
Because-
movies. Wink.
Because like I don't know. That's the point where the story is so big that it's hard to care what's going on. Because
What they've got to start doing is basically do what comics did and isolate the arcs within themselves enough you don't need to know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't like as well how everything after Endgame seems to keep building on like another grander story, because everything funnels into each other. There's no finality to any story. It just keeps going and leading into the next thing. So
Like,
I
it's
think
all
Falcon and
like
Winter
just
Soldier,
talk.
from the sounds of it, is going to be kind of like just tying up its arc.
No, I hear that it's building into like other stuff, like into the next Captain America and everything like that.
Oh, jeez.
So, but like
Ooh.
to me, that just sounds.
Ooh, maybe we'll have the
incredibly-
return of Batroc as a leaper then.
It just sounds very exhausting. It would be cool again if they just did like the Netflix thing where each story is contained like within itself to some degree. Like not everything has to reference a bigger picture.
I feel like some of them have to be doing that, just how many they are. They can't write them all to reference.
No, because that's gonna be Marvel's big like downfall, like their ego, thinking that everyone will continue to care about each property to where they'll see them and understand everything that's happening. Like it'll just get so big it'll collapse on itself.
I don't
Like,
think
they
it'll
definitely
collapse on
Way
itself at this
too
point.
many.
I think it might get smaller, but I think it's too big this point to just cease existing.
Maybe.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
know,
if
it's
it'll
like
ever get unpunpopular, but I do think it'll get pretty bad. There's
yeah,
too Marvel
it'll be like a faulty Dyson sphere essentially.
A what?
Like
Have you been watching Star Trek?
No, no, like just a Dyson sphere that has like a faulty construction to it, or whatever.
What does that have to do with the MCU?
Well, like getting so big and collapsing in on itself, like such a huge structure with like
You
flaws.
made
in
the
it.
most obscure science reference I think I've
I
ever
am
heard you make.
What do
That
do
was
people not know what a Dyson sphere is?
A lot of people don't. It's very niche.
Okay. Sorry.
The only reason I know about it is because it appeared in an episode of Star Trek.
The reason I know about it is because I had a Physics 2 final
Oh.
problem based on it.
The reason Orion knows is Rick and Morty.
No, it doesn't. No, I was looking up all the stuff like in
From
theory,
Rick and
if the
Morty?
world, if time kept going on forever, how would humans survive until like the end?
Do you
like,
know how
end
the
of-
Dyson sphere works?
like the heat death of the universe. So like the Dyson sphere would be theoretically how humans would survive through the heat death of the universe the longest. You'd build this structure around a black hole, and you would shoot light beams or energy through it, and
Or
get all-
garbage.
yeah, and
That's
you
not
would
exactly
collect the
how I
energy that bounces through the Dyson sphere going through the black hole, and that would like power whatever.
It's not the same
structure.
as that's not quite the same as a Dyson sphere because the Dyson sphere says you build it around a sun.
Yeah, and then you harvest the energy from that sun.
Well,
using
it's
the solar
a
process.
modified Dyson sphere.
It's modified, yes,
because you
but
would
the
be
approach of collecting energy is different because the black hole doesn't just shoot energy out at you. You have to put something in.
well, yeah. That's why you would be shooting stuff into it. You would do it through an opening in the Dyson sphere.
Yeah, because that uses angular momentum. A regular Dyson sphere just uses luminosity.
Well, the schematics here, okay. It's
Anyway, though,
No!
yeah, I definitely see the fear of them referencing themselves too much. I don't think the MCU could kill itself at this point, though. I think the property's too big. It's going to be like 616 at this point. It's here forever.
Wait, what's 616?
The main comics
main
universe since
continuity.
Fantastic Four issue number 1 in 1964.
3.
Okay.
3. Yeah, I don't think the MCU is too big to go away completely. Will it stay as big? No. But, yeah, it's the idea that it'll just cease to exist, it won't. It's bigger than Star Wars at this point.
Which is worrying
bold claim.
because we know Star Wars will keep trying to copy it if they make.
I don't
more
know
movies.
that they will at this point. We'll see.
Nah, I feel like
Still supposed to get Ryan Johnson's show.
No,
Which is
he's
interesting
supposed
also,
to get a
though, 'cause
trilogy.
Marvel has
Yeah,
outlived Star Wars as way before this, too. Like, Marvel's been around a long time, and it's still going. Star Wars has had a rocky history just throughout its publications.
But up until recently, though, it was more like just an overglorified indie project because Lucas was the one calling all of the shots for most of it. Until now, it's controlled by a corporate board, and you have to get approval for everything, and they need to.
Well, that's the whole reason why
That's
Lucas did
not
everything
always
out
a
of San
bad
Francisco,
thing.
right?
Lucas approved
not-
some weird stuff.
I like in the original movies and stuff, and the
Luke with
prequels.
multiple U's.
The what?
That wasn't his thing.
They're the clone of Luke that was spelled Luuuuuke.
Well, no, I just mean just the movies
But there were only
themselves.
No, I'm
Jeez.
talking about, like, the expanded universe.
There
and
was more
stuff.
than one, and each one had more U's than
No.
that.
You know very well that George Lucas did not read every single thing.
Yeah, and
they
that was
wrote
this
in Phoenix.
problem.
But he did approve
Well,
of like certain things, like Luke.
I don't know
getting
why this is
married.
the problem. Like, I'm just talking about the movies. Like,
I'm
like
talking
the
about things as a
expanded-
grander property here, because no matter what, just how things are today, anything that is in written format is evolved into live action at this point. So it was just the natural
Oh.
evolution of it. Like, if George Lucas would have made
True.
Star Wars today, instead of in the 80s, he would have been doing all these shows and stuff, or like having other people do these shows.
Oh, I don't know about
100%,
that
because it's the same way that he approved the books, he would have approved the shows.
I can't see that though, because the way the original Star Wars came about and stuff, like it wasn't. I can't see that.
I can
Especially
totally
when
see it.
George
It's
got-
just
But-
like
but
comics and
LQ.
books back in the 90s, it would have been with TV shows today.
I'm not sure.
No, because especially starting out as well, because it was essentially an indie project.
Not when it's starting out, like I'm talking like after episode 5.
Wait, episode 5 is
Empire.
Empire.
after Empire.
Yeah, like
Uh,
like when at that time when the Star Wars books and comics started taking off. And Lucas was approving this stuff. And
that was back.
don't
when
forget,
Empire
Lucas
was
did
on.
approve
first
several
EU
TV
book-
shows and spin-off movies.
The first EU
Like
book
droids,
didn't start
Ewoks.
coming out
I think.
after.
Wait, what? Wait, there were spin-off series?
Yes, several. There's droids and Ewoks.
Right, have,
Wasn't
you,
there
have you
another
never seen Ewoks?
No, I've never heard of any.
Yeah,
It's
George
supposedly
Lucas-
coming to Disney Plus.
one? Yeah, it is next month.
Wait, what?
There's also droids with Kybo Ren as a character.
No, were these like big deals?
No.
In the 80s.
They each
Because
only
I've
last
just
a
cartoons.
few seasons, so
Because
Yeah.
I've never ever.
They had
heard of
multiple
these.
seasons.
Well, Ewoks
I
had
mean-
2, droids just had 1.
I thought I had 3.
droids had one, and then also had like a.
Because
Okay, and then Ewoks had 2 movies as well. There's 2 Ewok movies as well.
the thing though is, I think George approved though. Like I guess I had no idea about this. Maybe they were a really big deal at the time or something. But
No, people
I
hated
think
them
George-
always.
oh, okay. Well, I'm assuming George approved these things mainly just because like he didn't think they would be as like big as the films. Like for George, I think most of it was always focused.
Oh, come
on
on.
his
You're just
vision
trying to
for the-
talk around it at this point.
Wait, no, not really. No, like I agree to an extent and everything.
Like, think about the things George approved back then and what
Well-
would be available for him to approve now if George had just made it today.
No, I'm saying there would be some stuff approved, but I don't think to the extent of like the Marvel shows and everything. Because at least from what I've seen from George in interviews and stuff, maybe but I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, so I don't like have all the,
I mean,
like, the context for everything.
I'm leaning with Orion on this one here because, like, George
Wanted to have control
So-
of most of this. If he couldn't have the broader
Um,
vision for like the main things, I don't think he would have approved
think-
all these other
yeah.
huge.
So George was
Skill.
doing TV at the time, like when he was still running Star Wars, so the Clone Wars, stuff like that, and then he was doing he was trying to work on Underworld that never really took
Yeah.
off, but
Star.
it
Yeah.
wasn't like
He wanted a Palpatine prequel series as well.
that was technically Underworld still.
I think though, if it was going to tie directly into his canon at the time, like in theory, if he was making it now, I think he would want to be the one like writing it or directing
He
it.
didn't always, though.
Well, like like with droids and stuff.
Like with the comics and stuff, especially.
Well, no,
like,
but what I'm saying is, I think he would have seen this as like, not in like a negative way, but like as an inferior medium or like as
He
an
did.
inferior byproduct of his stuff. If it was like the main story or like connected to the main story in like this grander, more cinematic way, I think he would want to be the driving force behind it. At least that's what
I would
like,
think he'd
seen
see the TV shows as the inferior media today, but he'd still allow them to happen at this rate.
I can't see it at
Because
this
no,
rate.
I
So-
can because he already did it.
well, like with droids.
Droids, Ewok movies.
Well,
Okay.
Droids was coming at a bad time because it's like you have a show, a Star Wars show that isn't starring any of the characters you actually want to see.
Mm.
I mean, have you?
Well,
have
that's
you
the kind
seen-
of show
have you
I'd say
seen-
he'd approve. Then a show like
have you
Droids or
seen the
Ewoks.
first episode of Droids? Any of you?
I've
Except
seen
for
like
Leo.
clips.
Okay, so you know that the heroes for the
Oh
main
wait, I thought this was like a
first
live
story
action
are
show or something. This is a
fat
cartoon.
guy,
They didn't
a
have
girl
live
with a
action shows for
skunk
this.
haircut and a
wasn't
guy with
available.
half of his head
Oh.
shaved off completely,
Well,
who also
yeah, but
happened
this
to have a
was-
lightsaber.
But Liam,
Seriously.
this was like from what I'm seeing.
Live action
I haven't
shows
seen
are the
this.
equivalent to Saturday morning cartoons today.
I don't know.
They
I
are.
don't know, it seems like you're
bad.
a bit.
If
They
people
definitely
want,
replaced it.
I would say 100% George would be approving all of these shows today.
Well, I just disagree. I just reject your hypothesis, Liam.
But you're coming from a thing George thinks like an indie film director, and he just hasn't. George always was all about the bigger franchise and making money off of it. Like, that was his major decision with the first Star Wars that kept it going, was George made the decision to make money. And that's why there are more Star Wars movies today,
Maybe.
is because George wanted more
you're
money.
probably right, because I don't like. I haven't like. I'm not huge into Star Wars. I like the movies, but like I haven't like did a deep dive in everything.
George,
With
like,
this
he
droid-
waived his director raise because he got all the merchandising rights, of course, and rights for all the characters and stuff. And that's because he wanted to make this a franchise they'd make tons of money on.
Yeah, but it wasn't entirely like I'm just making this movie to make money. Like,
No, not well. Those things don't have to be. That's like a common misconception. Is those two things have to be mutually exclusive.
No, I'm saying that. I'm just saying like there's a way to make art and also be monetarily profitable as well. But I don't think George made these movies entirely just to make. Like,
What Marvel is doing is extremely higher quality than what George approved of.
Well, yeah, for sure. But that's why I'm saying George approved them. He didn't see them as like on par with what he was doing, which is why he was fine with them existing. Like when I'm looking at
Oh no, he wasn't fine. He
Lord.
was mad when they were not up to quality.
Holiday
Oh.
special.
well,
Yeah, he started denying their
well,
existence because they weren't up to his level of quality.
well, okay, I just don't know what I'm talking about then, to be honest. So you're probably right.
Speaking of which, the cartoon from the holiday special is also dropping on Disney Plus next month.
Yes.
But not the holiday special itself.
Good.
Okay.
I want it in HD.
Oh.
That's the only way I'll see it.
Oh.
Or you gotta bite the bullet. It's not gonna happen.
I want it in HD, and I want it remastered. I want it in special edition quality with subtitles.
Yeah, like
For
let's make
the
a special
subtitle.
edition
It will
holiday
happen
special.
eventually.
No.
Someday.
I think this is a sign
Someday.
That won't, because
They're gonna make. Remember last year the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special came out featuring Chewbacca's family. We keep taking steps further and further towards it.
Yeah, we do, but it's like they could have, because they
Media coverage.
They are releasing the Ewok movies. Like, okay, who knew that would happen?
Likely, what it's going to be is going to be a limited time release on Disney Plus.
Wait, Ewok movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ewok. What's the first one? And then Ewok Caravan of Courage.
Caravan of Courage is first,
Caravan
and
of
then
Courage, then
Battle
Battle
for
for
Endor,
Endor.
which I will not get
Starring
into.
Warwick Davis.
Wait, are these new movies? Or old
No.
movies?
No, these are made back. These are like the things that George approved of back in the day.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't heard of any of
Those
these.
things which were clearly not
There's
meant to
a
be Star Wars
reason.
movies, but were spun into them.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of any of these. Wow.
Coming
Are
to
they
Disney
worth
Plus
watching?
next month. I
Like,
have not
they-
seen the Ewok movies, so I don't know.
Are they what?
What, do you mean
I
worth
guess-
watching in a legitimate sense or an ironic sense? 'Cause I can tell you in a legitimate sense they're horrible quality films.
Well, like, I doubt I would get any enjoyment out of them, like, ironically, either. Like, that's why I don't really want to watch the holiday special, because, like, I've seen a little bit of it, and it looks so boring.
It
I
is.
don't know. if
Oh,
I
it's
can do it.
incredibly boring. I normally fall asleep during it.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's.
I'd rather be doing something else.
Last year I managed to stay up because we had a lot of food.
Okay, that's cool.
We didn't have alcohol though, did we? Why
No.
didn't we?
Well, that's probably how
I
you
don't know.
were able to stay awake.
It's true. Well, I wasn't drinking the other. Well, kind of. I had NyQuil one of the years.
Oh yeah.
Last year was
better
the
than
only year I wasn't
drinking
sick
milk.
when we watched the holiday special as well.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Maybe next year we can do some, fun holiday special themed drinks. Well, we did have the hot chocolate, but that's not alcoholic, so that's probably why.
We could put some of this Irish cream in it.
Good, but
All right, so that's gonna about do it for us today. Light news
Wait,
week.
didn't we have one more thing to look at though? I could have swore we
No,
had like.
Don't think so.
We don't have enough time.
There's a game, wasn't there?
A game.
No.
I didn't prepare a game. Did you prepare a game?
Oh,
But
there
you
was no
just
game.
had this whole D&D campaign planned out. It's all ruined. It's wrecked.
No, that's actually it for today. That was really the only thing we had.
Now go watch The Irishman.
Yes,
Yeah,
watch The
happy-
Irishman, the Snyder
happy-
Cut.
While the night's
Like,
young.
comment, subscribe. Once again, thank you for watching. And for Ford, Leo, Mace, Malaris, Orion, and myself, LQ, we'll see you on the next episode.
Farewell. Bye.